We're going to talk a little bit about our integration with oXygen today. Just a little background. Astoria is part of a large company that has been in business over 20 years with about 350 million in revenue last year, over 2,000 employees, 80 offices around the world. These are some of our customers that are using Astoria and other products. Some pretty recognizable names. Thank you. This looks good. I like this little stuff here. So these Macintoshes are perfect. I don't know why anybody would ever use them. So Astoria has 3 tiers. The 3 tiers are not colored in blue. The 3 tiers are a web tier, a presentation tier that runs on the desktop, including our integration with oXygen, and then 2 server tiers, one for handling web traffic and the other for the repository itself, which is a NoSQL database. Our integration with oXygen uses several functions that come from the content management system, the ability to edit content, reuse, recursive edit. That means you can check out a topic and all the things that it references, including you can do the same thing with a map. So you can just click on edit on the map and then get all of the topics that are associated with that map. Certainly the ability to reuse content, show history, review, and other things. But let me talk a little bit about something that we think is pretty interesting. One of the things that you can do, Astoria has a management console that's written in Eclipse. I know there's other vendors who use Eclipse as well. We've built a ribbon interface, and you can do a search. So up here on the screen is a search operation that I look for. I'm looking for all content that has the word jobs in it, and I only want to return elements. So I get this search list here, and you can see that this is my repository layout here, but these are the search results over here on this. Oh, wait, I have a pointer. Yeah, so if you can see that, I have a little thing there. And I want to take this particular element, I want to drag it right into oXygen. So with oXygen, with Astoria, you simply click on that thing and take your mouse over to the oXygen application and drop it into the appropriate spot. And here I put it in right here at this little tag here, this little P tag that says at some point. And immediately a dialog box pops up and prompts you for the appropriate encoding that you wish to represent the type of reuse that you want to put in place. Whether it's a conref or an xref, non-speaking DITA. We would do the same thing for entity references as if we were using non-DITA type of things. But this little dialog box over here appears, and the value of this approach is that, just like with other integrations, it's seamless. So you don't have to worry about putting in the correct encoding or doing a complicated series of dialogues. You just select and drag. Now this is interesting, particularly for those users who use the version of oXygen that runs on the desktop. It's a pretty powerful version. It's got a lot of capabilities. oXygen is our number one editor that we use. It's in fact, all of our recent deals in the last 2 years are all been oXygen deals. It's probably the fastest growing editor on the market. You guys are here because of that. We thought that we wanted to improve the experience over just having having a separate management console and this third-party, this external editor. So we built in, with the advantage of the APIs that were already given to us, the ability to do some drag and drop. One other thing that we can do that's pretty interesting is the ability to edit at the element level. So instead of checking out an entire file just because you want to make a change to one element, you again can just take a look at the element and you can edit it. Now I'm showing you screenshots because we're on short time here, but I've got it live on my system, and you just simply select the right mouse button, click edit, and it pops up in oXygen, just the P tag itself. So what's happening really is that we're just checking out just that tag, or just that element, and it's being edited directly into oXygen. The rest of the document is not checked out. Astoria has the ability to have what's called varying levels of granularity, so you can set what are called locking units. It's tied to the DTD, so in the DTD you say, I'd like to be able to set my locking units at the P tag level if you want to be really ridiculous, or at some higher level. And that way you can have 2 people check out the same content in the same file. at the same time. Now, you can't obviously edit the same element at the same time, but certainly you can do the same content within the same file. And this is an example of what we've done. Astoria is built on a NoSQL architecture. We don't use SQL at all. So each object has its own particular ID and its own version history. So as you're doing editing at the element level, you're getting individual tracking about what's happening here within oXygen, separately managed. And so whereas in a relational database model, you're really sort of doing a kind of a complex mapping that makes it loses performance as the number of objects increases. We have this has been part of our architecture from the beginning, this NoSQL approach, and it's been a good marriage with oXygen because oXygen allows us to edit at the element level. And I think, George, that's 5 minutes.
It's better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
Any questions? Good. See me at lunch.
Thank you.